to the LP show. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the LP show, episode 10. Um, not. I mean, it's a pretty big episode, right? Episode 10, so it's a milestone at some levels. You know, super excited to be joined with Blaineo and Drew. Obviously, Blaino's gonna be back with us normally. Obviously, it started with Drew or Blaineo and I. Obviously, Drew kind of just joined in, and it's kind of just been running like that. So
I'm like a fucking a squatter. I just came in here, made myself home.
Get rid of it.
Hey, and just kept coming. But so yeah, today's episode is gonna be Blaineo actually asked me a question earlier in the week, and not verbatim do I remember it, but he asked me something along the lines of like who I think, which party, Republican or Democrat, do you think, or do I personally think he leans more towards with his views and stuff like that. So we're gonna dive into that for this episode and kind of just see where it leads us. But yeah, that's enough from me, Drew. If you want to take it away and kind of just jump into it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm curious, Blaine.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you would like to choose, like, if you have a red button and a blue button, which one would you press?
Very basic. Very basic. I mean, that's
Very big. Well, I'll start off with that. I mean, as of what you know about both parties, like,
Okay.
what do you think?
So, that's a good Matrix question, by the way. Red pill, blue pill, right? Let me just start with this. I don't know what the red side and the blue side is. I don't know if red is conservative or Democrat or Republican. I don't know. My whole life I went through and I gave no shits about politics. I steered clear of anything political. I just, me personally, right? I had no desire to know about it or want to know about it. But obviously, as we were talking before we started, right? As you get older, you do start caring about that more, right? Now that we're paying bills, people are getting kids, right? People are having families. You want to start caring about those things where it kind of leads and turns our country's political views, right?
Yeah.
So, my question, to answer your question, I have a question. What is the red? What is the blue?
Well, I guess typically the red's the Republican, and
Okay.
I learned this a while. I can't remember. It was like 5th grade or something. But one's a goat, or not a goat, a donkey, and one's an elephant.
An elephant.
I can't remember what that meaning is, but it's something to do with 2 presidents. I don't remember. But blue is Democrat. Honestly, personally, what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have no idea too. I remember seeing that when I was younger too, and I have no idea. But you go ahead. You keep going.
I was gonna say, I personally don't like the parties. I hate that there's even 2 parties if you're counting independent 3. I just hate it so much. I just wish they would go to, obviously who's the better person. Don't just take the parties out, take colors out. Why are there colors in election? Doesn't need to be about colors. Doesn't need to be about an animal. I think it's just about someone's views.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know.
Well,
I just want to say, if they took away these parties, people wouldn't be so much divided. They would kind of go towards the right candidate, an equal amount, So, I don't know. And then you have people that endorse the presidents, which is fine. But when you're doing it just towards a party, just because you like that party, exactly.
It's the party, not the person. Right.
And just to touch on that real quick, like Drew said it perfectly fine, right? Great. And I agree with Drew on a lot of things he just said, obviously, but it's just one of those things where it just couldn't work, right? Like you couldn't just vote on one person. I mean, just historically, you've looked at it, right? And you guys both just said it perfectly fine, like great. And this is why Donald Trump should win, in my opinion. You guys should vote. They should endorse the person, not the party. Elon Musk has never been a Republican. He's always been a Democrat. He endorsed Donald Trump. He didn't endorse Donald Trump because he's a Republican, right? Like he endorsed him because he got to know him. He's like, this dude's fucking an average guy. He can see, like, he can look at the blue collar workers and kind of like I don't want to say stoop down to their level because that's like horrible to say, but you know what I'm saying. Like from a billionaire's perspective, he can kind of like you know sit on the same level as them, I guess. You know, he goes and works at McDonald's and goes and puts on the worker's vest, you know, that everybody hates to wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, no. Go ahead.
But I was gonna say also, if you can remember, sometime in history class they taught us like the parties switched at some point during the United States.
I can't remember this. But real quick, just to get Blaineo back involved in this, Drew.
Go ahead.
To follow up with what we were just saying, Blaineo, the Republican, you know, you got more, you know, they're more for just letting the states, you know, on the abortion thing. You know, I know that's obviously a big topic, but letting the states kind of decide on what they want to do on that, and you know, that's like one big topic of it. I know, and Democrats, they're more for. I mean, Democrats in my eyes, they're more for having government control. Like basically, like government controls everything, which is, in my opinion, where the Democratic Party is where that's why Joe Rogan and Donald Trump's thing got censored right when Joe Rogan dropped the podcast, because they try to just censor everything and silence everything. And to me, and everybody has said it, and I'm just gonna sound like a mocking bird that's saying that what everybody else is saying, but it's it's like they're the party that's threatening the democracy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, for me, it's hard to ever like be unbiased on these things. But you know, and you know, Republicans are more for like freedom of speech and things like that.
So what I'm reading here too, I just randomly searched in Google Republican versus Democrat.
Me too.
Did you? Okay. So, and I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, did you get the same, like the Republican Party?
How'd I do?
You're pretty good. The Republican Party is basically for individual freedom. The Democratic Party, it's pretty much of a community.
Yeah, more government. So more like government driven. They
Republican Party, lower taxes for all. The Democratic Party, higher taxes, especially
right
for
there.
high income.
You lose me right there, man. Like, come on. Blaineo, how'd I do though? I did pretty damn good explaining that, did I not?
Oh.
That's a half a glass of Jack in, by the way, too.
Oh, there you go. That's not bad. But okay, Blaineo, I got a question.
Okay.
So, I mean, these are just a few questions. So, what's your view on gay marriage?
It should be. This one's tough. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people.
That's fine. Go for it. It's an opinion. It's an opinion, and it's fine.
No, I don't believe in it. I don't think it should be legalized, right? But I have friends and family who are openly gay, right? And do I shun them? No, but my personal view is that it is not okay. But you know, as I've talked with a lot of friends, pastors, elders in the church, right? You don't shun the person. You lead them back to Christ, right?
You shun the
action. That's where I'm. Yeah. So
I've seen things about that too, Blaineo.
Let's say that again.
No, I said I've seen things like kind of like about that too. It's like where you don't shun the person, you're supposed to just shun the action that the person's performing, and try to lead them back to not sinning.
Yes, it's repent and turn to Christ, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm gonna get off topic with this.
No,
so I'll just keep it simple,
Yeah, not keep it. Talking openly here, Blaineo.
So I mean, obviously, right on. I'm still uncomfortable with this sometimes, especially in today's society, right? If you start talking about the things that rock the boat with where like our culture is heading, with like abortion, same-sex marriage, right? You get really, really just spearheaded, right? How dare you, that sort of like that response.
Yeah.
But man was created man, woman was created woman. Man and woman are supposed to join together in union, not man and man, not woman and woman. So that's where I'm at.
Blaineo just answered his own question, Drusif. He answered his own. He answered his own question right there. He's a Republican. The fact that he just said that he's a Republican, in my opinion, because I feel like most Republicans. I feel like Drew, and you can even look this up.
There are gay Republicans.
Yeah, 100%.
There are gay Republicans.
Yeah, I know. I know some. I know some, but that doesn't mean that.
How do you know who you're talking about?
Keith. But that doesn't, dude. That's what I'm saying though. That just proves the fact of what Blaineo just said, because they're all about that same sex, all that, this, that, and the fourth. But Republicans are not about that. Most of them are not about that. I would say the majority of them are not about that. And Keith, he's an older. So he's a gay guy, but he's old school, man. Like they won't kiss in public. They don't do none of that. Super flamboyant, but that's the difference.
I agree with that. No, that's exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Those are the ones. I mean, that sounds bad. Those are the ones I like.
Yeah, I get you.
You know,
it's like
you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, you keep it behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think that with everyone though. Yeah, man or woman.
Like that's PDA, right? That's like public affection and shit like that. Like some people like it. I think it's one of those things when you're younger and you're like you don't care, but as you get older and you have kids and you know it's come on, man. Like what are you doing? You know, like.
Yeah. No, I agree. But
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just looked it up. So I just took this little test, right? And I'm leaning right. I'm not far right. And I looked it up. What is the right in the political party? And it tends to lean Republican. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
tends to lean Republican.
Yeah, no, I like I said, and I'm no expert on it by any means, but I would say just everything we've talked about, Blaineo, and you know, because I've known you for a while now, I would say you're definitely more Republican.
Okay.
And same with Drew. Drew's 100% more independent minded, and I think he's more of an independent person. But if he had to choose between a Democrat and Republican, Drew would go Republican. That's just my opinion on it. That's my opinion.
Yes.
Especially
but there are some
especially right now. In 4 years, 4 years it could change. But right now, you're on my side.
I try to stay.
Right now you're on my side.
Okay.
So let me ask this: Is Donald Trump a Republican or a Democrat?
Exactly. That's another thing. He started off Democrat.
He considers himself a conservative Republican, which is exactly why I said Blaineo falls into his category. I feel like Blaineo and Trump as people probably have the same views. To be honest, Donald Trump doesn't smoke.
Yeah,
Donald Trump doesn't drink. He's full fucking. He's huge into religion. I mean, those three things alone. A lot of people drink, a lot of people smoke, and a lot of people aren't super big into religion. But there are a few who are. All three of those things. I mean, like I said, those three things alone, you guys have the same views on.
Which are probably major views, especially in today's society.
They are major views.
Normalized is alcohol consumption, right? I'm not saying alcohol consumption in and of itself is bad, but how normalized is it? You know, it's okay to go out on the weekends and have 12 drinks with your buddies. You know?
Yeah. Hell, nowadays it's okay to do it on a Tuesday.
Everything in moderation. That's
everything in moderation. Like this glass of Jack's first one I've had in 2-3 weeks. Last time I drank, whenever we were all doing this, so we could actually go on YouTube and look. But yeah, no, it's that's a good conversation, you know, because everything's so right now it's so politically driven. Blaineo brought up a good point, you know, after all this. So I should have put a disclaimer at the beginning, maybe I will, but this is all of these episodes leading up to the election, and maybe I would say for a week, maybe 2 weeks after the election, you'll see a lot more things about the political, especially from the LP show. But after that, we're going to be definitely branching out to different topics again. Definitely going to be brainstorming on different topics and things like that. Going to need my boy Drew over here to pull some leg work over here and do something. But
got some ideas.
But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there because obviously everything, like Blaineo said, it's like so political, and we're not trying to be just a political, podcast by any means, because everything like this is gonna die out eventually. So yeah. But yeah, moving on, man. You know, it's been how's everybody's week's been? Drew,
Oh,
it's Friday. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, it's been actually pretty decent, man. Halloween was yesterday.
okay. Yeah.
Of course, we went out trick or treating.
What did
My daughter was
yeah, I was gonna say-
she was a bunny rabbit.
oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. KK dressed
I
up
ate
as
all-
Jasmine,
Jasmine. What is that?
the Disney princess.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
She just was excited because her stomach was showing.
Oh.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But
Right on.
yeah, yeah. Just to jump on something a little bit more serious. Though, I don't know if you guys seen, but Elon Musk was actually hosting rallies for Trump, right? Like, so he was like, campaigning for Trump essentially, and he was actually giving out $1 million to a random person in the crowd.
That's the way to do it.
Blaineo, you're on mute real quick. But so he was giving out $1 million to a random person in the crowd, and there's a lot of experts and stuff that were coming on saying that this could be potentially illegal, and it could be like buying votes and stuff like that. And I'm like,
What?
They're reaching on there, aren't they, Drew? What are your
Yes.
guys' thoughts on that? I don't know if you guys seen anything
Well,
about that or not.
You said where was he doing it at? Was he doing it at?
I think it was in Pennsylvania. You have to fact
But,
check
like,
me, but
what
I don't know. It was all no. He was hosting like campaign rallies on behalf of Trump. You know what I mean?
Okay, well then there you go. Like what?
Yeah.
How
So
is that? If you're at a Trump rally, you're obviously going to be voting for Trump, unless you're protesting. But
right.
He's
If
not
you're
like-
there to,
yeah. Go ahead, Blaineo.
no, I mean, I see both sides, right? If you're, what would somebody do for $1 million, right? Let's say they're far Democrat, they're all the way on the other side, but somebody said, "Here's $1 million, vote for Trump." Is somebody going to vote for Trump for $1 million? You know what you could do with $1 million?
Yeah.
So
You could
I
use
see the
the
why
level-
they're bringing it up, but it's not buying votes,
Yeah, like I said,
especially if you're doing it random.
That's one of the-
especially if you
yeah, that's one of those what you would call a gray area, right? Because it's like he's not out there holding a sign saying, have a chance to win $1 million if you come vote for Trump. He's just saying, hey, if you guys come to my rallies and you listen to what I've got to say, and I'm holding a town hall so you guys can ask me questions, I'll answer your questions openly, and at the end we'll do a surprise drawing. Who the hell doesn't want to go there? I mean, that sounds like a great way to. What a marketing move.
right to garner interest, to get people to come in.
yeah.
True. You gotta
Yes,
make
sir.
some calls, man. You gotta get that guy on the
What do you
marketing
mean,
team.
man? What? No,
No, but
I think
yeah.
he's doing.
What do you think, though, man? Like that's pretty insane. What do you guys think on the? How do you think both the candidates are doing on the polls?
No idea.
Drew?
I mean, yeah, say truly. I mean, do I know for
Well,
sure
I'm
what
just
the
asking
polls
you.
are? No.
What's your opinion on it?
My opinion, I'm going to say it's obviously going to be a tight one, but I feel like Trump is winning. I personally, of course, it's going to be a tight one. It's always a tight.
I was gonna say
It's never
they
a
like
win.
they have to make it a tight one. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I was talking to my dad the other night, and we were talking about it, and I asked him like, what do you think realistically, Dad, when you're gonna know what time who's gonna win? He was like 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, you'll know who's winning. He's like,
Okay.
enough votes will be in. You don't need to stay up till midnight. And I'm like, see, but that's what happened last time, Dad. And then Joe Biden all of a sudden overnight got 30 million votes.
You want to hear a stupid, crazy theory that I heard today
Yeah.
that someone told me?
Is this tinfoil? Is this tinfoil hat?
Yes, this is a little bit of tinfoil.
Put it on. Put it on, Blaineo.
Yep. So, you know how I don't know if you guys watch baseball, Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers fucking put the smack down on the Yankees.
Yeah,
Fuck,
they
man.
just won the World Series, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And 4 years ago, the Dodgers won, right? correct?
Yeah, the last election year. Yeah.
And they tried to say, oh, a VP won the election. That is a theory that's going around.
Really?
It's just coincidence, right?
A VP will win just because the Dodgers.
That makes no sense.
I know.
Yeah,
That's a legit.
They're
It's
saying
legit.
but Joe Biden wasn't the VP when. So did you guys see? Did you guys see that Joe Biden he called all the Trump fans like garbage or something like that? Did you guys see that? Man, I don't know if and another thing I gotta send to you guys too. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. I wish we could pull this up right now, but Joe Biden literally was like sucking on a baby's foot.
Oh yes, I did hear about this.
No,
I
sent this to you, Drew.
You sent it to me? I didn't see it then.
Blaineo, there was a baby,
no.
right? And this woman walks up to Joe Biden with this baby, and he literally grabs the foot and goes. He moused the foot 3 times, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
That's like that.
Weirdest shit I've ever seen.
A few years ago, like the Dalai Lama dude was like sucking on a kid's tongue or something, and he came up. Yeah,
brother,
yeah.
What? You can't say that.
That was a true thing, and he did. You know, over there they call that like just a child, you know, just playing around or whatever. But yeah, that's
sucking on somebody's tongue.
Yeah.
That's a forceful action.
You think it was the tongue or nose or something? Yeah, it was something.
Decision.
Yeah,
it was something really.
That's a very aggressive decision.
It was weird. Yes.
But yeah,
weird thing.
But yeah, you know, jumping back to the Democratic and Republican type stuff. Blaineo, you know, everything we've talked about, and you know, you've done a little bit of research. What do you think? You said, I don't know if you said it or not, but what do you think you lean more towards?
I mean, I just took a quick little quiz, right? I don't, you know.
Like, I'm just saying, like, what, you know, in your personal opinion, you know.
I mean, I lean conservative, right? So whatever conservative is, you know, I think we need to have less government assistance. We need to reform our prison system. We need to get out of other countries.
Keep
we need
illegals
to
out.
Not necessarily. You know, I'm sure that's a hard topic to try to even combat.
The migrants.
I mean more of like militarily, right?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying the migrants in the country, my guy. For sure, I feel you 100%. But bro, you gotta say the how many illegal people are in the country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about like the Haitians, you know, you have different Venezuelan gangs coming in.
Oh my God, dude.
That's not even something I had even considered, you know. But you know,
sorry, I'm dying over here.
Drew, he lost it.
He said the migrants. What? No, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
No, but for real, but yeah.
Yes, it is a problem.
Have you seen some of the stuff going on in Colorado and stuff like that, Blaineo?
I think we talked about it last week or the week before, how what it was, Venezuelan gangs or something like that. I'm not sure, but they were going into like apartment complexes and just basically kicking everybody out and just taking over.
Yeah, they've done it for months too. That's what's crazy, and it just continues to happen. I don't know. Go ahead, Drew.
I also seen something the other day about how apparently there's been like 300,000 kids that crossed the border with, you know, their parents, right? Apparently they don't know where they went to. They just disappeared. Apparently, like they had them like in.
This is the problem. You can't track these people.
Yeah.
Right.
They have no social security card. They don't have any fucking, you know, vaccinations on date. They don't have any DNA in the system. Yeah. There's literally no way to track these people, man.
That alone, I mean,
that's the problem with it.
Scary too.
Because they go out and they rape people. They go out and kill people. And their DNA is left at the scene, but they have no DNA to match it with. So it's essentially like a ghost, right? Like you can't. It's so fucked up, honestly.
It hurts on both ways too, honestly. If you think about it, you know, if they're hurting American citizens, but they're also hurting themselves. Like, well, not if you're getting paid, I guess, but for some of the children, for some of the children, who knows? That's human trafficking. They don't know you're there. That anything could happen.
Yeah.
You don't know where those kids could go. You don't know where that person could go.
Yeah.
Back.
I was watching something. They said that on the average person that gets human trafficked, so average one person, so per person, they said per person they're usually worth anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 a year.
Oof.
Those people that they nab up, and think about it, man. They nab 30 to 40 people at a time.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I mean, and it's horrible to say that, but that's a lot of money if they're doing that type of, and that's the problem with it. That's the incentive behind it, right? Like human trafficking's huge, man, and this is a great thing to bring up, Drew, because that's another big part of the political thing right now is because why are all these people in the country? They've opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
So many people running around, man, and that there's no identification. Blaineo, you go out and commit a crime, dude, you get fucking caught in fucking an hour.
If that.
Jesus.
If that.
You know what I mean? I mean, seriously though, with all the, he's got all of us. We have documents everywhere, and they have all of our fucking. But
dude, if someone sees me, I'm done.
You take somebody. You take somebody from Mexico or Russia or anywhere who doesn't have any American documents. I mean, think about it. They can go do anything they want, and there's no documentation of them. That's the biggest problem in my opinion. One of the biggest problems in my opinion with just the open borders. But that's obviously a whole other topic.
I got a random question.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on selling organs? Should that be a thing that can happen? Like if you wanted to sell one of your organs, you think you should be able to do that?
Blaineo, you mind if I take this first?
Go ahead.
I guess it would be. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Drew, because it's. I guess it would be the risk factor of it, right? Like what organ is it? Can you live with losing that organ, depending on what organ it is, obviously. If it's not going to kill you, and it's not going to have a major effect on your life, like I know there's certain things you can lose, one of and still be okay. I don't see a problem with it.
I got you.
I mean, especially if one, it's going to help somebody else, and two, both parties win because this other party, I mean, yeah, they might regret it a lot later in life, but if that's what they're wanting to do, that's what they're wanting to do, right? And they're going to make the money from it, so they're going to make money, right? Like, so both parties win in that. You don't make a decision. Everybody doesn't. It's not like you never regret a decision you've made. So that's kind of my take on it, Blaineo.
Sure.
I mean, Luke, I've kind of already touched on it. Let's say someone has, I don't know, degenerative blindness, right? And you're able to, I don't know, give your cornea or something. I don't know the medical, but let's say you can give an eye, right? I don't know if that's even possible.
It is.
You can give an eye to help somebody, not be blind anymore. Do you need two eyes? No. Is your quality of life going to go down considerably?
But it could get somebody out of that debt scenario, like we were just saying, Blim. They could make $100,000 off of it, right?
If it's about the money and you can make $100,000, whatever, right? Someone's going to pay you that, and you're helping somebody out. Would I personally? I don't think I'd ever. I'm a donor, organ donor, right? So if I were to die,
don't do it.
I wouldn't do it. I'm not an organ donor, and I'm not. I would not.
You know why you shouldn't be? Do you know why, Luke?
You go tell me. I'm not. So I'm good. Go ahead.
I've been told, and from
Tell
when I
Blaineo
went
this.
when I went to college, my paramedic instructor told me, do not be an organ donor because, say something happens to you, and if you're really bad off, if they really don't think you're gonna make it, they will not.
They won't try.
Yeah, they won't try as hard as
Because they know they're gonna get your organs.
Yeah.
They know
especially if there's someone looking for that exact. Yeah, that's
which you know what's crazy about it, right? So what Drew just said, right? They're not gonna try as hard, which whatever, that makes sense, because at the end of the day the hospital's gonna get paid because somebody's got to pay for that procedure. At the end of the day, somebody's paying for that fucking procedure. At the end of the day, it's always about the money. So so what Drew just said, should it be legal? It's already legal. It's just not legal for us to do it. It's legal for hospitals to do it.
Fair enough. Yep. Exactly.
Well, I mean, that gets that's perfect. Because that gets into, why is everything so privatized, right? Why is healthcare privatized? Why are prisons privatized? Why are a lot of different goods and services privatized? That shouldn't be, But I mean, that brings up a really good point. Should there be universal healthcare? Should there be universal?
That's a good one too. That's a good one to talk about.
Like a universal prison system. That's where it all comes down to money, right? You know how big the insurance industry is, how much money they garner and generate and make. How much they spend. That's.
No, that's a great point, Blaineo, and just to touch on that real quick, personally, Eric and I, we want to move to England, and a big part of why we want to move to England is because they have free healthcare. After 1 year of living there, you get free healthcare for the rest of your life.
Oh, dude,
you know how much that's going to help? I'm not trying to live under Trado. Relax. But anyways, you know how much that's going to help you? Listen to me, Blaineo. You know how much that's going to help you in the long run
You're
of life?
get stabbed, bro. You're not going to have a gun.
Bro, I'm not going to be living in London, cousin. But you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you get me. It's like for the free healthcare, I think that free healthcare, my dad, he's a diabetic dude, and like seeing how much he has to pay, dude, and how much he makes a good living. I couldn't imagine somebody who doesn't make a good living trying to afford that and everything else in life. Truly, I mean, it's fucking unreasonable. It's so unreasonable.
And that's the thing, because healthcare has been privatized right now. Like, so I was looking, I just had a few procedures done a couple months ago, and I looked at the itemized bill, man. They're fucking charging hundreds of dollars for like each individual test, right? Oh and the reason they can do that is they know that they're going to just bill the insurance company.
Yep.
And the insurance company can't afford that. And then they can choose to decide, no, we're not going to pay for this. We're not going to pay for this. They have their set of criteria, right? And it's super fucking hard to meet all their criteria. They can pick and choose what they want to pay for, right? And that's the problem. It's, inflation has reached our insurance for healthcare. Yeah. A fucking bag of IV solution, $1,400, right? It's fucking wild,
Just to stay alive. Wild. Just stay alive, Blaineo. Remember that.
Yeah.
Where you should.
It is what it is.
Where you should move to? I just looked
what's that?
Australia.
Australia, where
that'd be interesting.
Where the spiders are bigger than your face.
Yeah, I'm cool off the spiders, but I actually have a buddy of mine that's actually in Australia right now, and he loves it out there.
Yeah, free healthcare too.
Yeah. Do they have free healthcare? Why does every country but America has fucking free healthcare? Tell me that.
Because we're the world police, man. Because we got a base on it. We got to pay for those bases, man.
See, that's some fucking bullshit. And you know what? Another bullshit thing is the credit scores, my guys. That's another fucking. Credit scores are a fucking joke. I got a guy out in Canada that I know, and I talk to quite often. And we were just talking the other day about credit scores, and he was telling me basically they have a credit score type of ordeal, but it's nothing like credit scores in America. It's so simple. It's one number, boom, that's it. You pay your bills on time, it goes up. You don't pay your bills on time, it goes down. And I told him in America you got 4 different fucking scores. Good luck trying to figure it out.
And if someone runs your score, it goes down.
Yeah, if you it's gonna take you fucking a year to build that up. They run it 1-2 times, it's right back down to where it was. It's gonna take you another year to get back up.
How does that make sense? Why? Why am I getting penalized?
And then
for
it's
that?
fucked up because they want you to have debt on credit cards, but they also want you to pay it off. But if you pay it off too fast, then you get penalized, and your credit score actually goes down.
It goes down. Yep.
But the more
Yep.
credit you've used, the higher you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's so fucking funky, bro. Like they talk about why didn't they teach us this in high school, Blaineo? I mean,
Why didn't they teach us a lot of shit? Why didn't they teach us how to like homestead and can your own food?
I agree. That is a good one. Plant a vegetable, anything, anything.
And how to do your own textiles and how to make your own clothing and how to
sewing,
take care of farm animals and how they didn't teach us any of this shit, right?
Yeah.
It was hey, what war happened 300 years ago in a random country that then pushed this. Anyways, I think the concept of a credit score is okay. Can you use this basis of a number to determine whether or not somebody would be trustworthy if you lent them money?
Agree.
Right? I think it's okay. But I also think we shouldn't be borrowing money. Live within your means, right? Now, that's a little different because the housing market is so fucking... Oh, I think we lost Luke.
No, I'm here.
I think we lost...
Again. Again. He's here.
He's here,
brother.
So, obviously, people want to buy homes, right? People want to have their own home, right? But the housing market is so crazy. Who has $400,000 just laying around to purchase a home outright? What I'm more talking about is, you can go and get a phone on a plan, pay $50 a month to get a phone over 2 years. Your car over, 6 years. You have people are going out and put, like credit cards to buy clothing, to buy whatever, like to furnish their home. That's more what I'm talking about. Live within your means. You don't have to have a fully furnished home, right? As long as you have a bed and your food in the house, right?
Work towards it. I agree.
So I think we shouldn't be purchasing outside of our means and using somebody else's money to do that, right? But I do think that the concept of a credit score, because we don't know everybody on a personal level, right? I know Luke is trustworthy. I know Drew is trustworthy. If they asked to borrow $20 from me, I know they'd hit me back. But I don't know random Joe Blow down the street if he asked to borrow $100 if I'm ever going to see that again, right?
Yeah. More likely not going to see that again.
Speaking of borrowing money too, Lucas, your dad helped me when I bought my house. Speaking of money, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten a house.
So
it's all.
Yeah. So Drew, what do you think about credit scores then? We've all had our run-ins with them. I mean, my God, man, we've all went to go apply for something and not got approved for something because your credit score's too low or whatever.
And I think it's stupid because one, I changed my credit.
I love it.
I changed my credit score in like 5 minutes, just from me taking off the credit cards that I had.
Yep.
Boom. Just like that. Approved. Yeah. It's just like.
What's crazy is like you can have let's say you have an open account, open line of credit through, let's say, Discover, right? But you don't use it. It just sits there. After a certain amount of time, they close that fucking account and they'll send it to the credit unions and then it drops it. So then you get negatively dinged because you don't have that much purchasing power. You don't have that line of credit anymore.
The line of credit goes down,
It just drops, right? So it's one of these things where you actively have to use it, but to actively use a credit card means you're actively spending money that you don't have.
You're actively going into debt.
Which is
the problem with the credit scores, right? Because that at the end of the day, that's the problem with it. It should be pretty simple, like I said, pretty cut and dry, right? You pay your bills, you pay shit on time, your credit score goes up. You're a trustworthy person. You don't make those fucking payments on time. Shit happens. It goes down. It doesn't take you a fucking year to get back to where you need to be to be able to live life. But they need to make that's just my opinion on it, because you got the FICO, you got the Equifax, you got the fucking credit card. You got TransUnion. You got like 4 different things that run your credit. And you do a soft pull somewhere, you do a hard pull somewhere. What are they pulling? Which one are they pulling? I don't fucking know.
And what they're doing with that too is
they're doing a fucking whatever the whatever they all equal to is, I don't know. I don't get it.
Not only that, they're also checking 20 different lenders at one time. So each lender is hitting your fucking right, and then lenders look at it and say, "Man, you went to get a loan or something, or you went to purchase a car, and you had 60 people look at your credit. That must mean you don't have a lot of money. That must mean you're not as reputable with your finances, and so we're not going to touch you, right? So that dings your
Right.
credit even more."
Yeah, exactly, and that's just gonna keep knocking your credit score, right? Yeah, it's a vicious cycle, man. It's a very vicious cycle. It's kind of like the incarceration thing, like people get incarcerated and they never get out of that cycle. It's just it's so hard because once you're incarcerated, it's hard to get a new job. It's hard to get a good job, and you always feel like you're better than the job you're supposed to be working or something like that. It seems like, and then you end up turning to crime again, and then now you're back incarcerated, and then it's literally like
Like,
that's the nast. That's that. Yeah. That's. I mean, you know what the nastiest thing about life is the Monday through Friday cycle. I mean, it's the nastiest thing, because who doesn't if you work a Monday through Friday job. So Drew, I know it's a little different for you, but I'm sure you have certain days where you have a cutoff too, and it's like you have those days where you wake up and you're like, holy fuck, when is it gonna end? And then and then you get, yeah, exactly, and then you get on, and then you get to that day where you're gonna have a day, Drew, you're gonna have a day off, or you're gonna have 2 days off, and you're like, oh, thank God. And then, maybe that first day off or that second day off, you start thinking to yourself like, fuck, I gotta go back and do this shit again.
Got to go back to work.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's the life cycle. That's the shittiest fucking cycle, man. I'm telling you. It's a crazy thing. But man, I think this was a really good productive episode. I think we should wrap it up if that's cool with you guys. This is like a little over 40-minute episode already.
Wow.
Episode 10, man. It was super fun. I think like I said, I think we had a very productive episode. We kind of jumped into a bunch of different topics. Yeah, I'm Luke. This was the LP show, man. This is episode 10. We look forward to seeing everybody on episode 11. We've been doing a bunch of lives. Might go live tonight. Might go live tomorrow. I'm not too sure. Got a couple things coming up on YouTube, and we can preview. But I'll see what my boys are trying to do. So, Drew, if you want to say your goodbyes and pass it out to Blaineo. We loved having everybody, and we'll catch you guys on episode 11.
Yes, we appreciate everyone's support. We appreciate everyone watching, sharing their thoughts, even though if there's some different thoughts, but they're still thoughts. This is America. That's good.
We appreciate the comments.
Yes, we appreciate it. We appreciate you watching us. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending your time watching us. But no, yes, on a real note, yes, it's been real. Elections coming. Go out and vote if you want to.
There it is.
Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless.
All right, guys, this has been episode 10 of the LP Show. I'm your host, Pilks, my co-host, Luke here, and once again, our special guest, Drew, as he's destroying a bottle of Corona right now. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
This has been the LP Show. Thank you for watching. My name is Pilks. This is my boy, Lucas. Tune in next week.